This video talks about two forms of acid reflux. One kind you feel as heartburn, and you know when you have it and why. The other reflux is common, but you don't know you have it. However, it can also cause problems with your voice and singing. Inside this video, you'll learn how to recognize the effects of reflux on your vocal cords and what steps to take to protect your voice. Hi, I'm Chuck Gilmore with Power to Sing. I have reflux, but it's not the heartburn kind. That's called GERD, or Gastroesophageal Reflux Disease. It hurts. You know when you have it. It burns your chest and throat. You take Tums or Pepto Bismol for relief. It can fry your vocal cords with acid from your stomach. That's not the reflux I have. I have a silent kind of reflux. I didn't even know I had it until I injured my vocal cords when singing sick. The ENT doctor scoped my cords and found nodules on the false cords and moderate reflux. He said the reflux was making it difficult for the nodules to heal because acid was irritating my injury. Yuck! My kind of reflux was silent to me because I didn't feel heartburn. It's called LPR, which stands for Laryngeal Reflux. Here are the causes, symptoms, and treatment options. I'm quoting from the Cleveland Clinic's online information found here. Acid made in the stomach travels up the esophagus, the swallowing tube. When that stomach acid gets to the throat, it's called Laryngopharyngeal reflux, or LPR. Anyone can get LPR, but it shows up more often as people age. People who have certain dietary habits, people who consistently wear tighter fitting or binding clothing, people who are overweight, and people who are overstressed are more likely to have laryngopharyngeal reflux. There are many symptoms of LPR, all of which relate to sensations in the throat. 50% of the people with LPR do not have symptoms of heartburn or an upset stomach. When there are symptoms, they include mild hoarseness, sensation of lump in the throat, a need to clear the throat, sensation of mucus sticking in the throat, and or post-nasal drip, chronic cough, difficulty swallowing, sore throat, red, swollen, or irritated voice box. Personally, I was always clearing my throat. I always had post-nasal drip. I always had congestion in my chest, even when I didn't have a cold. Periodically, I had soreness here for no reason. When I sing with LPR, my cords feel thick and heavy. Everything seems harder to do. So I try and control it. What I really don't want is the acid to burn my vocal cords and cause permanent hoarseness, permanent damage. To decrease your chance of LPR, do not eat spicy, acidic, and fatty foods. Drink alcohol, smoke tobacco, drink caffeine-containing beverages like tea, coffee, and soda. Eat chocolate. Eat mint or mint-flavored foods. Wear tight or binding clothing, become overly stressed. Learn tools to help manage and reduce the stress. Maintain a healthy weight. Avoid eating less than 2 hours before bedtime. There are treatment options for people who have LPR. Most of the treatments can also be used as prevention measures. Follow a bland diet, low acid levels, low in fat, not spicy. Eat frequent small meals. Lose weight. Avoid the use of alcohol, tobacco, and caffeine. Do not eat food less than 2 hours before bedtime. Elevate your head when you sleep. I use a couple of pillows. Avoid clearing of the throat. Take medications both prescribed and over-the-counter as directed by a doctor. In very severe cases, surgery may be recommended as treatment. I take medications prescribed by my doctor to treat my LPR. I think it helps. I'm not a doctor, and I don't diagnose or prescribe treatment. If you suspect you have acid reflux, go see an ENT doctor. I recommend one who specializes in the voice. Here are links related to reflux that will be helpful. Here's a video of my doctor, David Palmer, talking about reflux.
Hi, I'm David Palmer. I'm an otolaryngologist. That means ear, nose, and throat. In my case, I have acid reflux. Acid reflux is very common. The most common symptom is a throat clearing, where you are going around clearing your throat and it can cause hoarseness. Well, if you're a singer, that's a problem. Found out about 15 years ago, I had this malady of acid reflux. It was making me hoarse. I was having trouble singing, and I got treatment, and based on the diagnosis of what's called a video laryngeal strobe. There can be other things like polyps and nodules and other things that can go wrong, even cancer of the throat. So you want to make sure what the diagnosis is before you treat it. Some of the frequent symptoms are actually not heartburn. And that sounds bizarre, I know, because it's acid reflux, right? You should be getting heartburn coming up from your stomach. Well, this one's called silent reflux. Laryngeal or high reflux do not get heartburn. They get hoarseness. They may get a sore throat. In addition to the throat clearing, they may have trouble swallowing pills. They may have a cough. People who cough a lot may have reflux and not necessarily asthma. The otolaryngologist is the wacky one to make that diagnosis. Eating late at night. And there are certain foods and behaviors that make it worse, like smoking, which relaxes the esophageal sphincters, alcohol, caffeine, overeating, spicy foods, peppermint, believe it or not, and chocolate. And you can't be perfect on everything, so I still eat chocolate. And then in addition to that, there are medications that are very helpful. I, for example, take omeprazole, which is a generic and over-the-counter medication. It's also known as Prilosec. I take that one for myself, and that's how I manage my acid reflux. If it's caused by acid reflux, no. If it's something that's caused by voice abuse, yes. Sometimes when you go to basketball games, football games, you can't help yourself. You get a little emotional, and then you end up hoarse. That's usually causing some swelling of the vocal cords. And if it happens a lot, you can get permanent, or at least sort of permanent nodules that need to be treated by a speech therapist.
Caring for your voice is a top priority if you love to sing and want to sing all of your life. One way to care for your voice is to understand your vocal type and do exercises that eliminate vocal weaknesses and improve your voice. Do you know your vocal type? Go to powertosing.com and take the vocal test, which I call the power test. Take the quiz and discover your vocal type. Then go to the Knowledge Center and watch the videos about your vocal type. Download the free exercises for your vocal type and start improving your voice immediately. I'm Chuck Gilmore with Power to Sing. You can sing higher with beauty, confidence, and power. I'll see you inside the next video.